Yo, everybody, welcome to another pod episode. We are live on Twitch, and this will be on YouTube. Um, but yeah, this weekend, club football is back. International break, aka the Slender Man, aka the Grim Reaper, aka the Injury Merchant. If it's finally done. Um, And this weekend we have obviously there's a bunch of other games, but the main one that we're going to feature today and get deep dive into is the North London Derby. Tottenham Hotspur versus Arsenal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium Sunday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, USA. We have Matt on board representing Tottenham. We have Liv representing Tottenham Hotspur, and then by himself in the red corner, Mr. Andy Lee. What is going on with you guys? How you guys feeling for this game coming up?
Well, I have Tottenham and Cleveland Browns potentially on Sunday. So if anyone here's, watching, believes in God, believes in prayer, send it my way. I could definitely use some thoughts and prayers at potentially at this time, like 72 hours from now.
Here's the thing, look, if your quarterback wasn't Deshaun Watson, I'll be praying. But it's the fact that
Pray
he's
for
your
me.
quarterback.
Don't pray for the Browns. Pray for
Fair
me.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
I'm focused on the wrong thing. You're
Yes.
right.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna ask for prayers as a Panthers fan. I don't think that they'd help at this rate, so I'm just gonna let that one happen.
I can't get on you too bad because I'm a Commanders fan and it's not much
see,
better.
my parents were, because they grew up in DC area, and so
Okay.
it started out that way, and then growing up in Charlotte, they quickly kind of got used to Panthers because
Yeah.
we weren't growing up as Bucks fans, even though my sister and I were both born in Tampa. Like, we moved so soon, it didn't make any sense.
You probably regret that though, when Tom Brady signed, but
No, I mean, I was at the NFC Championship game when the Panthers went to the Super Bowl. So, like, I had my moment. It was fun. I'd like it to come back, though, at least, like, winning. I don't even need to make it to another NFC Championship. But, like, a win, like a touchdown, maybe. Like, maybe no interceptions on our first pass of the game would be nice.
Safety.
But, like,
the safety.
Even a field goal, I'd be like, points!
Tickets are selling for a field goal. At $3.
Someone had tickets on StubHub the other day for $1.
That's crazy.
$1.
Yeah,
that's actually wild.
No, it's a sad state in Charlotte. Right?
Yeah. And then you got Andy over here chugging on his water.
he's getting ready for the battle here.
Yeah.
The war.
I gotta defend my club with all the passion I have because we don't even have a midfield. We're about to play like 3 different unks in midfield in transition against Spurs, who loves to run down the line every single opportunity. I have no hope for those two, but I mean, I'm just hoping, going into this game, given that Odegaard's injured, given that we sent out Fabio Vieira, given that we sent out half the team in midfield, that we don't have an Odegaard replacement, but I'm hoping the Odegaard replacement is Wanyeri. I know he might be 17 years old, but I mean, Yamal was 16 at the Euros. I mean, he can be the difference maker in my opinion. But I mean,
Snap!
We can see how it goes. I don't know, man. Normally I would say if we had a fully fit team, it would be an easy win. Then again, Spurs doesn't have a midfield either, so I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you have well. Here's the thing. Before I go into what I was going to say, is Basuma fit? Because I know I saw the Twitter post saying he got injured or taken off.
I think we'll find out tomorrow. Usually they kind of give like an actual injury report. He did. He was taken off because of injury. Like, he had a little bit of like soreness.
I don't think it was anything major though. Like, I think it was more like precautionary.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like it was just like an awkward feeling more so than like anything severe.
So, but
right.
I'd assume Gray and Madison are definitely going to be in the midfield. I'd be interested to see what that other spot, if Basuma is not there, what happens. Because because I don't know if he'd just go full attack, because you'd probably think, if we're just talking tactics, Arteta is going to go more. I think more defensive in this spot. I think he knows, just like getting a point, maybe just like trying to delay the result as far as possible in the game. Especially if they could get like a quick goal to start the game, I wouldn't be surprised if they go full like parking two buses.
Right.
Because I mean, the Arsenal's just great with that. All their defenders are very good, so breaking them down is going to be difficult. But maybe I could see it being all defensive minded midfielders. Maybe Havertz as in the Odegaard spot, just because Odegaard's not there, and they probably put someone else up top. Did you guys officially sell Nketiah? You guys officially sold Nketiah, right?
Yeah, he's gone.
And Jesus is fit, not fit?
You can never tell.
About to say, because that seemed like a game where maybe he just has Jesus up top for as long as possible, and then maybe like Sterling in the second half or something like that. So I think tactics for this game are going to be very interesting, because both teams, like the midfield, such a question. Anything could really happen.
Yeah. Andy, how do you feel about, I guess, obviously, in terms of who you think? I mean, I know you threw out the name, Waneri. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know if that was a joke or not. I'm not to like insult anything, but like I think putting that much pressure on a 17-year-old who hasn't really started a Premier League game, it's kind of risky. But it's also a one-off game.
Nah, yeah, I feel like going into the preseason, given the fact that we loaned out Fabio Vieira, we sold ESR, and then like didn't sign any type of backup. I think that kind of shows that Waneri is definitely going to be in the squad. We all kind of knew it because I mean he's like our best young player in the academy right now. Like there's literally no other player in that academy that can match his talent. But I haven't seen such like a talented player since like Saka coming up. And when Saka first came into the Arsenal team, he was quite literally the best Arsenal player for like the first 20 games he started playing.
Facts.
It was crazy. So I think it's a perfect opportunity. I think, given his talent, he did play for the under 18s England over international break, and I'm pretty sure he scored a goal against their under 18 Germany, and almost had like a beautiful curler from outside the box against Germany. So I mean, I think he's perfectly ready. I mean, a couple of years back when we had a bunch of young stars going into the team, they're all 19, 20. Saka came in when he was 18 or whatever, either 18 or 17. I'm not too sure. And then, I mean, I think we're perfectly ready. Given the midfield is extremely weak right now, I don't think we're gonna be playing both Partey and Jorginho midfield. I think that's just gonna be too much of a stretch in terms of counterattacking, because both of them, they have one leg each. If they can combine it together and have one perfect play, so be it. But I mean, they're both extremely, extremely slow. Partey's hitting this age where he should be going to Saudi. I don't know how he hasn't yet, but he should be. And Jorginho, I mean, fair play to him, but he gave away 2 goals against, or a goal against Spurs last season in that 2-2 game, which was annoying as hell because I'm not even going into it. But I mean, this game, as Matt has said, we're gonna be parking the bus. I'm fine with that. I'd rather take a team that'll park the bus over a team that'll go super attacking, like Unai Emery, and concede 3 goals in a North London derby. I'm not doing that. I know Arteta. We still have all of our defenders. I think we'll be super, super defensive, but I think the game's going to be all down to set pieces. Because as we know, Ange and his set pieces are terrible. Vicario cannot catch a ball for shit. And I think we're just going to overload the box with Havertz and Saka on the corners. I mean, that's how the game's going to go. That's how the game last year went. So that's all it's going to take. I don't think we're going to miss Odegaard too much. I think Saka is still going to be fine on that right side. Even as 1 year, he's still good. I know Havertz definitely going to start in the midfield, or either if Jesus is back, he's going to start up top. God forbid, because he was terrible in that 2-2 game last year. We'll see how it goes. I think it's just going to be like a really tight game, given the situation for both teams. Is Bentancur actually going to get suspended?
I think it's like he has till the 19th to appeal it. So if he appeals
I don't know
it,
when it'll happen
yeah.
by.
I
think it's like
while the
pretty.
appeal is out, I think he still should be able to play. Like that's usually how suspensions go.
I think it's until there's like a set decision on it. Like I know they said he's going to, but he has like a span of time to appeal before anything is enacted.
That's surprising, but
yeah.
I'm not confident on that. So like, don't take it as Bible. But
that's what I'm saying. I feel like we do have to do it now because obviously we need to get the content out. But like a lot of the midfield on Spurs will change. Like we had that discussion with the Newcastle game where I was like, okay, well, if Solanke is in this game, and then we found out the next day he wasn't going to be. So
he's still out for the game, right?
I think he's.
Dude, your guess is as good as mine. I mean,
I think what I've been seeing is that he's going to be on the team, but might not necessarily start. Like he may be dressed, but not starting. May come in towards the end.
Okay.
I don't know how for sure that is, but
there was a couple injuries. Wasn't like Van de Ven also like?
Yeah, Van de Ven was out for Newcastle. Basuma picked up the knock during the international break. I think they'll be fine. I think Van de Ven's supposed to be back. He's said to be.
I'm seeing nothing bad for Van de Ven in terms of being back Sunday.
Yeah, I know Solanke says it's still in doubt. Like his status isn't sure, but if he's not going to start, they're probably just going to throw Son in the middle again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into that when we talk. Predicted.
Both teams look like shit right now. Not gonna lie.
There's injury. Like this is like the injury matchup of all injury matchups. I feel like.
Yeah.
There's so many key names that are out either for doing dumb stuff and getting red cards, or saying stuff on social media and getting suspended. So I think it'll all be a matter of who's actually gonna play.
It honestly sounds like
what you can come up with from who can actually play.
Yeah. Whoever's like alive last wins, you know.
Last man standing. It's not actually.
It's a real brawl this year.
Yeah.
So
for Spurs, right? Who starts for your front three in you guys' opinion? Like, does Odebert get the nod, or do you think Kulusevski with Son? And obviously, if Slinky's not fit or not, that also is another wrench into the plans. But I guess who do you guys think will be starting for you guys on Sunday?
Matt, do you want to go first, and then I can?
Yeah. I think it should be, if everyone's fit, I would go Son, Solanke, Kulusevski. I just think that's probably the most mental.
Yeah.
Like I like Brennan later on in the game against especially if it's a side where like Arsenal is going to be stuck in the whole entire time.
Right.
Having Brennan come out and like coming at legs that have been defending for like 65 minutes, if that's how the game kind of plays out, I think that wouldn't be bad at all. If Solanke is out, then probably that does bring in I probably would say that brings Odebert in on the left, and then Brennan on the right with Sonny.
Start.
So if Solanke is fully fit, I don't know what's going on with Richarlison. I think that may be a play if Richarlison's good to go. Because honestly, just preferably, I think Sonny's best on the left. I think he's still able to finish on down the middle, but I just think he's not going to. He doesn't have the physical to go up against Saliba and Gabriel. So I don't think he has that. That's not really his game. Never really has been. So having one of the actual full nines would probably be best there.
Yeah. I have seen that Richarlison is not expected to be fit by the time we play, so I think it's going to be saying that Solanke's likely not going to be fit to start the whole game. I think it's going to be Odebear, Son, Kulusevski up top, with Brennan coming in once we see kind of the flow of the game towards middle of the second half. Especially if we see an Arsenal team that's struggling defensively, which in the midfield, I think it's going to be an interesting game, especially once it settles in. I think towards the beginning, these games are always so back and forth, especially just this derby is just crazy. So I think once the teams like settle in and find their rhythm, we'll kind of get a better idea of what the game's going to look like for both teams. And so I think that's going to be where you're going to see the tactical changes come in. And that's where I think we'll see a Brennan Johnson sub that'll be useful. But yeah, I think the front line's pretty established at this rate if we're seeing the injuries stay as we think they're gonna stay.
And I like you made that good point. I just think early in the game it's going to be so important because if Arsenal get a goal in the first 15 minutes, that's going to even reinforce them more to get back in. But if Tottenham score early, you could kind of get Arsenal having to go out, having to be more aggressive. I mean, they don't have to early on in the game, but the longer, if Tottenham holds a lead, somehow, some way, Tottenham holding a lead, but if they could hold a lead till like the 60th, 70th minute, put pressure on Arsenal to go out and, have to make some more aggressive substitutions, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of with what Arsenal is missing in the midfield, because it's a very talented team. It's probably, in my opinion, besides Manchester City, it's the best roster in the league. So they will have the solution tactically to any problem that they have. But losing Rice, losing Odegaard, losing Moreno, it gives them it puts a wrench in probably what Arteta was hoping to do for this game pre-Brighton.
Yeah, that's why I feel like the first 15 are going to be so telling, because you're going to see the game settle in, and once that happens, it'll show a lot.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing, I know, Andy, you said that Arsenal may do the defensive approach, right? I'm interested in seeing the counter attack from Arsenal if they do decide to go that route, giving up possession. Because, here's the thing, with Spurs, you're fine with keeping the ball, right? Obviously with Postecoglou coming into the team, there's been more of emphasis of, we keep the ball, right? We attack. Obviously, I guess the best way to put it is vertical tiki taka, but in a different variation, I guess you could say. I guess for Arsenal, would you have Sterling play? Obviously he hasn't played yet, but for the counterattacking threat, would you rather have Sterling or would you rather have Martinelli or even Trossard? That's another option as well.
I don't know. In terms of the counterattacking, because we know Spurs are definitely going to dominate the ball for the most part, but we're also going to. I feel like we're also going to try to dominate the ball as much as we can to really just run down the clock and just try to win corners as much as possible. Because I don't think that's really our game, extreme counterattacking, unless a big opportunity arises. But I don't think. I feel like Spurs will be set up to counter attack really. You have players like Pedro Porro, Udogu, who can go up and down the line. So I feel like we're definitely going to take the approach that we did in the game last year. Although the soccer goal last year, it was definitely a really quick counter, but I feel like it was just poor defending from Spurs. But I feel like them knowing that we can counter quickly is definitely gonna affect us going into this game, because I feel like, as I said, it's definitely gonna be a more set piece minded game, given that that's one of their main weaknesses. So I feel like Sterling wouldn't be playing, in my opinion, given that he hasn't really touched the ball yet for Arsenal, and to do that in a game like Spurs away, even though he was really important for Chelsea last year when Spurs lost like 2 of their players.
Don't
But-
remind me of that game, please. That was like a really important pinpoint moment in my relationship with my boyfriend. I was like, I need you to not talk to me because he was a Chelsea fan, and I said I need like a 24-hour period to just calm down.
I feel like it will definitely be some type of game like that because, in that game, Spurs just shot themselves in the foot, really.
Oh my god, it was
Yeah.
so bad.
They've done that a lot of times, really. And to
That's
do
our
that
favorite
against,
thing to do. Ruin our
Mexico
own
Bears
game.
FC.
to do that against, in the North London Derby, where at this point you might be the favorites just because a lot of the injuries for our team is bad and suspensions as well. Perfect opportunity for them to shoot themselves in the foot. Well, as I said, I don't think Sterling's going to play. I feel like it will be either. I would want Trossard to play, but I feel like Arteta's going to be playing Martinelli definitely. Because I feel like I saw this tweet a while ago. Martinelli tires him out, and Trossard, comes on and finishes the business as he did against Aston Villa. So, although Trossard might want to, start and play, it's definitely going to be Martinelli that's going to play. So, up top, given if Jesus is back, I would play Jesus. I feel like he's really good on the press as well. That's definitely going to be a big plus side in terms for us, defending and stuff like that. Havertz definitely going to play in midfield. But, Sterling's definitely going to be on the bench. He's definitely going to be an option when it turns to, when it comes to being a difference maker. He's definitely going to be the main Saka backup, in my opinion. So, we'll see how it goes. But that's my front three. Saka, Trossard, and Martinelli, I don't really care. And then Jesus up top, if possible.
You guys ready for, I guess, an attempt at a combined 11?
I think we could probably just, I don't know what we're going to do for the midfield 3. That's going to end up being like that's going to be like a relegation level midfield
Right.
at that point.
Hey, let's get it.
The soundboard kills me every time.
All right, let's hop into it. Let's go.
All right. Oh, okay.
Goalkeeper. And forget FanDuel. This is not free advertisement either, so FanDuel can... Yeah, there you go.
A year ago, I was so confident in it being Vicario, but just based off of form right now, I'd probably have to go Raya.
Okay.
I mean,
have to agree.
I'm not debating that.
All right.
yeah.
Raya,
He's been really
welcome
good.
to the squad.
Best goalkeeper in the league this season, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just because that game
Oh, he
against
had
Aston
such
Villa.
a good game in that Aston Villa game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We talked about that. He was so incredible.
And also, I can't change it on here. I don't know how, but it's gonna be a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Not a 4-4-2.
That's fine.
That's
Just
fine.
probably make like the. Maybe like
Yeah,
the,
this will be the left winger, and then
Yeah.
this is the striker. This is the
and then
right
that's the
winger.
right winger. Yeah,
Yeah,
you.
that's
Sounds
fine.
good.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Let's go to left back.
I mean, our left back is like Timber right now. I can't really count Calafiori because he really hasn't played. So I would say Timber for our left back, but I mean it's a Dogi.
Yeah, I go Dogi,
The Dogi.
Yeah.
and he hasn't really started the season well, in my opinion. But at least the way he started last season. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Timber has been good at left back at the moment, but I mean Dogi has that experience.
this is where the argument's going to be is the center backs.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
see.
So let's do left. Yeah, so this is the left center back position. So that would be
Yeah.
Van de Ven versus Gabriel Magalhaes.
I will go to my deathbed here. So this is the one we will really argue about is Mickey Van de Ven being
There
here.
we go.
I'm still backing Gabriel. I'm sorry, this man is, not better than Saliba, but literally almost at the same level in my opinion. I feel like he's too important in our team in terms of defending the lead. I mean, he was really important in the game against Tottenham last year. He held the line so much better than what Saliba did. In terms of this is a game that he thrives in my opinion. The only reason why we can see some goals against Spurs is just because of dumb mistakes. One being Raya, and then the other one was being like a random handball in the box. It's like dumb mistakes, but I mean he thrives in these games, and I still defend Gabriel here, even though he's not good for Brazil. But I mean it doesn't really matter.
No one's good for Brazil.
No,
Facts.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, but I mean, I think it's hard because, like I said, I rate Gabriel, I rate Saliba, but just I think there's no player that's more important to how Ange wants to play than Mickey Van de Ven. You
I could
need
go on for
that.
hours about him.
Yeah, you need
literally.
that. You need that. You need that.
Not like that, you weirdo.
You need that set. All right. You can say that, but your Pinterest board says otherwise. So, your left
Oh
center.
my god.
Your left center back here. We need someone who's able to catch up if the other team breaks, and like the goal that Newcastle scored to win that game. I mean, Dragusin and Romero, like they just don't have the recovery pace that Van de Ven has.
Yeah.
It's so crucial to the system, and like it's weird because they're both center backs, but they're both great at two different types of center back.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel like Gabriel is more similar to like Romero, while Saliba is also really similar to Van de Ven, but they play different center back positions.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I think I'd probably go Saliba over Romero. So I'm down to just do one of each. We go Van de Ven and Saliba as the
That's
two
what I would
center backs.
suggest. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll allow it, but I mean,
Yeah, because I think that's just I think of the four, those are the two best.
Got it. Yeah. For YouTube, I'm just gonna do. I think that should be a question in the comments or whatever. Gabriel or Mickey Van de Ven. I want to see if that's a debate or if that's really just pride, I guess, being in the way. But my fault. I didn't mean to type in Gabriel.
I feel like if you in my opinion, if you rank the four center backs, I mean, I would still put Saliba, then Gabriel, then Van de Ven, then Romero. I said it last year. I don't rate Romero.
I would just flip Van de Ven and Gabriel. But yeah, Romero, and I think Romero's still a very good player. As I said, I think you in those four you have four of the best 7 or 8 center backs in the league. Like obviously, I'm gonna rate my own guy with Romero highly. I know he does have his occasional bozo moments, but when he's on, he's a very rock solid center back, and he usually tends to be on more than he's not.
What's going on?
TJ, what are you doing?
Gabriella?
You got that bald head, bro. I'm like, bro, what's good with this bull's hairline?
Bro got hypnotized, dude.
Yeah,
bro,
literally.
bro.
It got from his bald head. It's like
that picture was from last season before it was preseason. He got the surgery right at the start of the season.
Oh, he went to Greece. There you go. Harry Maguire's not allowed in Greece. So if he goes bald, it's over.
Got it.
But we're going Van de Ven and Saliba? Just for this?
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then back.
Wait, TJ, real quick. How would you rank the four center backs? I want to know.
So, in order, are we doing current form or are we doing Premier League and what I've seen in the Premier League only?
I think just overall from what you've seen from the players.
Say...
Okay. I'm not a big fan of Romero.
Mm-hmm.
Personally. I think Saliba, I think he's a good player, but I also think he gets overrated a little bit as well. And maybe here's the thing. I hate the trophy argument with these at least with defenders. I hate that argument because there's a lot of good defenders on bad teams and they just don't get the light just because in the situation that they're in. But I think in Arsenal's situation with, I guess, the turnaround of the team, who can now compete, for Premier League titles. Not win just yet. I mean, they may do it this season, but, yeah. I mean, I think Saliba should be. I think for me, it's Saliba number 1. I think it's Van de Ven number 2. I think it's Gabriel number 3, and then Romero number 4.
Yeah, and I think I think Saliba's probably just definitely the best, but I think the gap from Romero and Gabriel isn't that much.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I think they're both prone to crazy mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gabriel showed it to start the season. Last year, it didn't really show that much, but once again, when before Arsenal were who they are now, he was also making mistakes before. I remember people slandering him off for a lot of seasons. So, um, yeah, no, I think that's the way I'll rank the center backs for North London. But I think that's honestly that could change in a flip of a coin. Like Van de Ven could turn into a beast. Once he figures out, it's not even him. If Spurs can figure out how to make, their team better instead of just penny pinching all the time.
Oh,
And I
good
think
luck.
Art, yeah, right, yeah, that's a whole battle in its own right.
And also
Um,
just try to keep him fit as well. I mean, he has an
right,
injury record,
yeah, that hamstring of his, man.
and now the knee.
Right. Um, right back. Ben White or Pedro Porro. I feel like that could be a big
That's
argument as
very
well.
close, dude. Yeah.
I, for the sake of considering him in terms of like the attack, I feel like Poro has consistently been one of our better like passers on our attack, which sounds weird considering him as a left back, but like his accuracy on crosses and set pieces, like I feel like we keep seeing him in this role that's like hard to replace with his pace, his defensive ability, and the ability to transition into the attack and be an asset, not a risk in terms of like recovery
Hmm.
if we do lose the ball. So for me, it's hard to not consider him in terms of adding him, but that might be a Tottenham bias speaking. So
I mean, for me, I would. Yeah, I'm still backing Ben White here. Um, I think last year, I think when me and TJ first started the podcast, I always said in the future Ben White's going to be a great player, and he's definitely going to eclipse Walker in terms of like what he can bring to the table. He doesn't have the pace that Walker has, but I mean I feel like in terms of defensive ability, you compare like Poro and Ben White. I mean Ben White definitely eclipsed him in that by like a mile in my opinion. And the reason why we have him at right back, we had struggles in the past with our right backs being terrible at defending. Not to name names, but like Hector Bellerin was terrible at defending. Um, but I mean, Ben White has definitely solved that problem in terms of our defensive problems at the right back. But I mean, also again, like I feel like in attack, he's not going to get all the opportunities to fly up the field because you have Odegaard and Saka in front of him. But I feel like
Right.
the second half of last season, he's definitely showed that he's capable of just running up the field and just scoring crazy goals and being super influential. I mean, you see in the Chelsea game last season when we were on 5-0, I mean, he was flying up and down the pitch while I don't know who the hell was playing left wing because he was doing such a good job. I mean, he scored 2 goals, second one being lucky. But then again, I mean, he's such a super important player in terms of our defense. I mean, going on attacking, he links up really well with Saka as well. So I mean, I would still back Ben White. I think to compare to Poro, like defensively he's better, and attacking wise, Poro might have the edge a little bit, but I feel like Ben White is super underrated when it comes to attacking as well. He just knows what to do.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of the way Ben White is set out. Just kind of he has Saka there, so he doesn't have to kind of like he's not going to be able to occupy the same spaces. I think he has the potential to do it. So I think it just is dependent on what you value more. I think Ben White's definitely at like the way more solid right back coming back. But if you have Poro there, Poro just kind of I think probably I'd say outside of Trent, I think he's the best right back in the league going forward.
Mm.
So, and I'd even take him in a lot of ways that Trent just there's a lot of things that I think Poro does better than Trent going forwards as well. So I would just take that. Hold on, give me a second, please.
Yeah.
Also,
No,
I
you're
want to say I do not want Spurs to have more defenders than Arsenal, in my opinion. That does not make any sense.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say, man?
Uh, Spurs should not have more defenders than Arsenal. I'm just saying.
Oh snap. Oh
I
snap!
mean, you seen our defensive record last season, and we had this discussion last year. Who had the better defense, Spurs or Arsenal? A lot of people said Spurs. You look at their defensive record, and you look at ours. I mean, it speaks for
I
itself.
think the thing that you bring up though is like look at the defensive record and even just considering like goals scored, a lot of them like weren't necessarily mistakes from our defense. I feel like a lot of our goals last year rooted from our midfield and problems
Mm-hmm.
there. So you can blame a lot of like if you're looking like exclusively at goals scored, like yeah, we may have had more, but I don't think like most of them I don't want to say were like, oh, it's not the defense's fault. Like that's not true. Obviously, their job is to not allow goals to be scored, but I do think you have to consider what the root cause of
Yeah.
the goals were, and I think the midfield was a big point of contention in terms of our strength. Because I think a lot of goals, if you look at where they start from, they're not starting as defensive issues. They're starting in the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's also the tactic too. I mean, if you
Yeah.
have Udoki and you have Poro so high, and Basuma loses the ball, and now it's like three guys with Romero on Van de Ven. It's not Poro's fault that that goal happened. Poro's supposed to be somewhere else, and the midfield's the one that has the issue. So I disagree. A lot of it was stemming from the inability to maintain possession when we needed it, and then they would counter well off of it. And then a lot of it was just, as well as you said, Tottenham are so bad off of defending set pieces. So, and I don't think it's Pedro Porro defending a set piece by himself or Udogi defending. So a lot of it actually is kind of some of the like attackers being put on other attackers, and then they just can't win their one-on-one battles.
Mm-hmm.
So while I do think, like, obviously Tottenham did concede more, I think that's just based off of both of the team's styles of play, where, like, Arsenal just, like, always has a certain amount of guys behind the ball no matter what, or just, like, a certain amount of people back, just in case, where Tottenham kind of lives more on the edge, and obviously that burned us last
I feel like
year.
we live and die by the attack, and when we're not finishing, which I feel like we struggle with and have struggled with consistently, that we put ourselves in risky situations, and if we can't get back in time, then we're living and dying by the risk, and so a lot of times we die.
Yeah.
High line.
To go
TJ, Anthony said get rid of the ads on our lineup, so hit skip ad and see what happens.
Every
we
time
go.
I do that, guess what happens?
Another ad is going to
pops-
come back up.
Well, I'm
Literally.
just telling don't shoot the messenger, okay?
No.
You're fine.
Yeah,
You're
fair
fine.
enough.
You're fine.
wait. So I want to respond because while the excuse of like Tottenham being a super attacking team, of like their fullbacks flying up and down the field, I think we gotta take into consideration their defenders. We can't be writing them off with just their attack alone. I think
No,
Ben
I
White.
wouldn't say I am.
Yeah,
I think I'm just considering them as a whole in terms of building the dream team out of the starting 22.
But as I was saying, Ben White again, defensive record. The only ever problem he has against like a winger is like Rashford. And that's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah,
But, I mean, every
facts.
other winger in the league, he's definitely dealt with completely.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's ever had like a problem in terms of right back. And he's been our super consistent player. There's no other player in this team where you think like, oh, this guy had a bad game. Ben White never had a terrible game. You'll
That's
have
true.
extremely good games, but then again he's always been super consistent at right back. Whereas again Pedro Porro can be really good attacking wise, but no one I don't see him like being credited as a really great right back in terms of defending. Because you can rate him based off being like a right wing back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can compare if you want to. Like, I can pull up this. I pulled up the stats for defending. I can like read them off if we just want to go shot for shot.
I think that's just kind of how it is like White is going to have better metrics defensively. Porro will have better metrics offensively just based on how they play.
Honestly, they're not. That's not entirely true off this like reading these, but
hold on, wait before you talk about stats about defenders, because I said this a lot in the group chat. You can't rate defenders based off stats because if
no, I'm not saying that.
one team's defending more than another team, they're gonna have more stats. Because I'll bring up the same comparison. They try to compare Mustafi's stats to Van Dijk, and he had better stats. And at that point, I was like, I'm never believing the stats for defenders ever again. Use your eye. Like I would use the eye test.
Bro, Durag Mustafi was a different breed, bro. Don't hate on my guy, bro.
Because like I have the stats too, and honestly, like Porro has really good like blocks per 90. Ben White has more interceptions per 90, but they're about even on like ground duel rate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think honestly, I think this is just up to TJ. I think both of us kind of just are gonna stick on our end here.
Yeah.
And like,
and that's valid.
Yeah. So since you're the judge here,
man, the level of power, man. I don't want to abuse it at all. If not, impeach me.
I'm just saying, if you don't pick my side, it is case 118.
Taking consideration the defensive record between the two teams.
Look, here's the thing. Like Andy has me already on record picking Ben White over Kyle Walker.
Okay.
I can't pick Porro. That means I think that Porro is better than Kyle Walker.
You're not gonna. It's not gonna hurt me. Like I said, I think they're very close players. They just both specialize in a completely different part of the field as their specialty. I mean,
there's assets to both that are beneficial in terms of what you want to see in a team, and some people want more advanced wingback. Some people want a little more defensive priority. It's totally what one versus the other would want. So
right. But I think the back line is solid though.
Yeah.
I think this would be a Champions League winning back line for sure, in my opinion.
Spurs players?
Oh snap! Okay.
Also, Arsenal players. I can't talk.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, wait.
I was about to say, I know which one of us has been to a Champions League final more recently.
Facts. Hey, I was going to say, look, Spurs saw their final in HD at least. HD.
4K.
Yeah, actually, 4K was introduced then. Okay.
I don't even think Messi was wearing the same number at Barcelona last time Arsenal was in the Champions League. He was wearing number like 27 or whatever.
He wasn't even playing.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the squad, bro. Pep Guardiola wasn't even the manager, if I'm correct.
Right card, I think. All right, keep on. We're done.
So this is the fun part. We just need to pick 3 midfielders that are alive.
There you go.
Just flip a coin.
Ethan Wanmiri, Archie Gray.
We should do like a 10, a 6, and an 8, I guess.
Okay, that's fair. So this will be the 6.
All right. So are we doing just total, or are we doing players that are fit right now?
Players that are fit.
I think we should do players.
I would say like players that are going to allegedly start this weekend.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, I'd go Basuma just because I don't know who's starting in the 6 for Arsenal.
I mean,
would that be like Jorginho, maybe?
It will definitely be Partey.
That's
I mean, he's been playing at 6 the first couple games of the season. But I don't think he's going to be playing.
Probably go Partey then.
Yeah, he has to go against Villa too.
Yeah, go against Villa.
I feel like Basuma's a flight risk all the time. Like, just makes wild decisions and is so impulsive.
He gets high on balloons.
Yeah, same thing. That's his prerogative. Okay.
Do not give this man a galaxy gas. You know how it goes.
You're done.
All right. Oh, you can move the thing.
It's a terrible start to the midfield.
Oh, there we go.
So this could be the 8.
The 8.
I don't even know who's starting. Havertz, that's our 8, right? No, I can't say Havertz.
I think Havertz is going to be in the 10.
He could.
I don't even know, man.
He could.
Well, I mean, you guys have Sarr, right?
That's not the craziest thing I've heard.
You guys have Sarr playing, right?
Yeah. So I think we could do Havertz in the 8, Madison in the 10, because I think those are probably the 2 best midfielders that are still playing.
I would say Sarr in the 8 and then Havertz in the 10.
Yeah.
I feel like, in my opinion, James Madison just fell off.
I don't know, man. I think Madison's such a I'd rather have Madison in this lineup than Sarr. I think he's more important to Tottenham.
Yeah, I think lately he's been on the rise of importance. I feel like his creativity's as of the past few games, watching him,
Yeah.
he's been a bright spot in our midfield with
Mhm.
creating
I mean,
opportunities for us. Do I think he's at the level he was at the beginning of the season last year? No, but do I think he's looking
Mhm.
more promising than he was after he returned from injury? 1,000%.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, if you watch, especially the Leicester game, anything
Yes,
that was going on good was going through Madison.
it was starting with him.
Yeah. So he's so important to the team in that case. So I think I'd have Madison over Sarr if you're putting a Tottenham midfielder in there, and then I think Havertz would be the other midfielder.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, if you're going off recent games, I feel like, you can give James Madison, but I don't know. Are we still going off overall? Because overall, I mean, I feel like last year, I feel like the only Spurs player I really did respect was Sarr. I mean, he was
I
definitely.
feel like last year we got a very warped sense of who Madison was as a Spurs player because I do feel
Mhm.
like he was rushed back from injury
Mhm.
because he was viewed as such a vital player at the beginning of the season that he never was fully fit to come back, and that warped his ability in the midfield. And so I think seeing him this season, it's giving us a more realistic sense of what you can expect from him as a player versus the half healthy Madison we saw once he came back from that ankle injury.
Right.
So
Well,
I think
yeah.
yes, realistically we're going off of overall, but I think the overall that you're like speaking of is like a half overall, if that makes sense.
Well, I'm not going to debate as Spurs player, so you can pick whoever you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go Madison and Havertz as the other two midfielders here.
Okay. Yeah. So let me do that. Um. Yeah, I put Madison in. I mean, doesn't have to necessarily be the 8 spot, but yeah, I think it's crazy how like last year, if we said Havertz's name, we would have literally looked stupid. But now he's actually
Yeah.
solidified himself.
I mean, to be
Um,
fair, like, not
It
gonna
took him a
lie,
while to get that Chelsea stench off, you know.
Yeah, it did.
not gonna lie, I wouldn't even, have Havertz's worst moments were him in midfield, in my opinion.
That is facts.
So, I mean, I guess we can put him there, but I'm not gonna complain.
That's cool.
Midfield's looking ass right now, so
This is the left winger. Obviously, he'll be up here.
Sonny.
Human
yeah,
Son.
you can take Sonny.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, I
I
can't
mean,
complain.
just put Saka on the right while we're at it. You know, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah.
I
no-
wish we could go back in the days where I could argue Dejan Kulusevski, but those days have passed.
Yeah, there's
You
still
know,
some
you
people
wanna
who
put
are
Brennan
still
Johnson
on the
on that
hill,
list,
though.
Matthew?
I put Brennan Johnson at the striker because he's the top of the Christmas tree. He is the guiding light of the team.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But no,
I feel like-
I think I'd go
I think
I'd go
front three is
Saka on the
really.
right, Sonny on the left. Like that's
Yeah.
probably the two most obvious positions in the lineup.
I feel like also if Solanke is in contention, I feel like he's put back up there as well. I mean, we already put our striker in midfield, so
Yeah, I think Solanke being there's fair if he's going to be the one who's the striker.
Okay.
If not, then I think both teams just go with a false, just false existing at striker.
Right.
wait. So is it like Arsenal 6 players and Spurs 5? I think.
Yeah, so you got 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5,
Mhm.
6.
Yes, because there's
Yes.
yeah,
I mean, I'm
I
fine
feel like
with
that's
that.
pretty fair.
yeah.
I think this looks pretty
I'm
good.
not upset with that.
The only change I would make is Gabriel for Van de Ven. Can't
Yeah.
find me, but I would still say that.
And I mean, on the same end, we'd go Porro for Ben White. So either way, it still probably ends up being about 6'5" each way.
Right. Yeah.
So
I'll leave that up to the YouTube Shorts universe and also the TikTok universe and also the IG Reels universe as well. Yeah, but no, I think this is a solid 11. Definitely one to watch for Sunday though, because who knows what shape's going to happen with Arsenal. I mean, obviously I think Spurs is kind of predictable what's going to kind of happen in terms, at least with formation, but with Arsenal there's a lot of looks that maybe we haven't seen from Arteta either ever or in a while. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think guys did a great job, at least civilly going through that. going through that lineup.
We
Well,
would never
um,
not be civil. We're so nice.
I don't have the confidence in my team I did last time we did that to just pick everyone at Tottenham at this point. Like I hate half of the players.
I wish Spurs, like when you guys made it to the Champions League final, I wish that was the version of Spurs this year to
Yeah,
compete with this Arsenal team. Oh my goodness, like Musa Dembele.
yeah. Like I said, I think Tottenham's definitely still a year or two out from what I think they plan on being. So,
Right.
definitely, if the squads were fully healthy, I think Arsenal's probably the big favorite. But Arsenal's midfield questions is kind of, I think, even the playing field a little bit more.
Right. Okay.
I
So
think
yeah, I think
that's something we all agree on.
yeah. Let's go
Prediction
into the
time.
predictions. Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
All right. The last time I think this game was played, it was 9-0. Southampton is hosting Manchester United.
Oh snap!
Can Southampton do the funny thing?
Can they do the funny thing? Here's the thing with me. I predicted Southampton to win for the past 3 games, and they literally struck out. They literally struck
It's gonna
out.
pay off eventually. Keep rooting for them.
No, he's got to do the inverse now. He's got to go United to win big.
That will never come out of my mouth.
You sure?
Ever. It doesn't
From
matter who
him?
the opponent is. It could be Crawley Town. It could be Kidderminster FC, wherever it is, bro. Like,
Kidderminster Harriers? Come on, dude. Respect the Harriers. Well, you are respecting the Harriers by saying they take the fight to United, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
But you use this reverse logic with Arsenal all the time. So United to win in big.
Nah,
He can't bring himself to do it.
I gotta keep the face, bro. United to lose 3-0, bro. There you go.
3.
I'll give him a goal. 3-1.
That's fair.
I'll give him a goal.
I don't think Southampton's scoring 3 goals this season. So
They're not.
their attack is horrendous.
Wait, I thought we were talking about FIFA career mode. Oh, my fault.
Yeah.
I'll go 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
All right.
I mean, they have Lallana.
Yeah, Kyle Walker-Peters. Just naming players that we kind of know from Southampton.
Brereton Diaz, the fake Chilean. Crazy.
He's gonna, when he accepts that Oscar for that flop he had in that Newcastle game, you're gonna feel mad stupid calling him fake Chilean. That dude's going to win an Oscar for that performance.
Yeah, bro. That was bad. That was horrible.
But if they do that this weekend to if he wants to flop and get Rashford sent off, be my guest.
Oh, yeah, all day.
They'd be
bro.
assuming Rashford would be playing. I don't know if Rashford plays.
Bro just chills on the bench and posts his he's literally Ben Simmons, bro. I know we compared him to Jason Tatum, but now he's at Ben Simmons level,
That's
bro.
actually the perfect comp.
Yeah.
He's Ben Simmons now.
Bro posts his training clips. He's like, I'm back. I'm in the lab.
Yeah.
And when he hits the pitch with the cameras on, guess what? Nada.
All I'm saying is, whatever gym he goes to in the off season, he turns into Steph Curry from 3. But I'll go United 3-1. Southampton sucks.
They do.
It's like
They
3-0.
3-0.
I don't think they've got it. I want them to give me something. I feel like I keep saying that they're gonna win, and then it just never happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Man United's gonna win 2-0. I mean, you have Ramsdale in goal. That speaks for itself. But I feel like this is a perfect game for United to bounce back. Anyways, they lost 2 in a row, so I mean, they need to bounce back. I mean, it's important for them.
All right, we have Brighton hosting Ipswich next. Brighton took a point in their last match. They did. By hook or by crook. Kind of by crook. But you won't hear me complain about it based off of who they took the point from.
Absolutely. Ipswich, I low-key like the way that they playing, bro.
I think they can stay up. I really do.
Yeah.
You
called it. You called it before the season even started. You did say Ipswich we're going to stay up, even though we're about to be 4 games in.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing that their style of play. They take it to the big teams. Yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna go with 3-1 Brighton win. I think they're gonna score a goal, but I think Brighton the way that they're playing right now, like I think they're gonna get Europe again. I don't think it's gonna be Champions League, but I think they're gonna get either Conference League or Europa League. Um, yeah, I think it's gonna be 3-1 to Brighton.
I'll go 2-1 Brighton for
Okay.
similar reasons. I just think they're in good form right now.
2-0. I'm going anti-goal scoring this weekend. I don't know why.
Honestly, not a bad shot.
I'm gonna go 4-1. I think Brian's gonna cheat for a penalty. I think João Pedro's gonna kick the ball out the play, not get a yellow for that. I feel like Brian's gonna also someone's gonna slide tackle in the back of someone's knee and still not get a yellow. So that's how it's gonna go.
I'm happy to see that you're over it. I appreciate it.
Hater.
Who's the referee? Who's the referee? Is it Kavanaugh? Let me see.
That's a great question. Hold on. I know the Premier League has like all the referee assignments to each match. Let's see.
There's a stupid game, right?
Brighton Ipswich. I don't see.
Stats.
I do know Anthony Taylor's doing the Chelsea game, so congrats to whoever Chelsea's playing on getting a point at least in that game, because Anthony Taylor just absolutely hates them.
Yeah, it's
Which honestly, I mean, same.
Chelsea plays Bournemouth.
Yeah, so. Ooh, that'd be a good game.
So where's it at? They haven't announced it yet.
Oh, that's weird.
They at least on the website. They haven't uploaded it.
It's gonna be the most crazy refereeing decisions in that game. I can tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like when stuff like I feel like when Tottenham had that Liverpool thing last year, when everyone was just kind of talking about how bad the refs were, I don't remember Tottenham getting like a 50-50 call for the rest of the season. Sometimes they just kind of go the complete other way with it. Where if a team gets like a very favorable call in a game like that, or just like one game where it feels like all the calls are going that way, they're fearful to give that team another 50-50 call for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe that helped you in that game. That could hurt Brighton. Helped them during that game. That could hurt Brighton for the rest of the season.
Against Ipswich, though, I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it hurts them. I don't think they lose the game. I'm just saying in the future.
Right.
I think we all agree Brighton wins, probably.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace is hosting Leicester City.
I'm gonna have to go. See, Vardy always loves a goal at Selhurst Park. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 1-1, a draw. I think Eze's gonna get on the board. I think Vardy's gonna get on the board.
That's a sensitive subject with Matthew. Be careful mentioning his name.
I did comment to him today because he did post congratulating Harry Kane on his
Look
caps.
at that.
So I was like, oh, hey, you should go to Tottenham to celebrate for him. So far, haven't heard anything going back that way. So,
keep trying, Matthew. It'll pay off one day.
I'll go 2-1 Palace. I think Palace needs to get a win because I think they just have bigger goals than being what they have been previously. So they need to win this game to keep themselves in that conversation.
I feel like Crystal Palace is going to win 3-0. I feel like every player in that team is actually pretty good. I feel like Nketiah is going to get on the score sheet. My boy. I don't know what I'm saying because I don't rate Nketiah. But I mean, I feel like he's going to be good for Crystal Palace. So 3-0 for Crystal Palace.
I think that's Nketiah's level. I'm not saying that even in an insulting way. I just think he's a mid-table Prem striker. I mean, it was never going to, he shouldn't lead the line for Arsenal, but for Palace, I think he's just as good, if not could be better than Mateta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, do we all go Palace? Liv, did you make your prediction for Palace and Leicester?
I said 1-1.
1-1? Okay.
I agree with TJ.
So 2 draws and 2 Palace wins. So next is Fulham is hosting West Ham.
This is low-key a good match.
That's a London.
I'm actually kind of excited for this one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good match. Here's the thing: if Fulkrug, that one video of Fulkrug getting outpaced while he was 10 yards offside to the ball, that still plays in my head rent free. I don't know, he doesn't fit the West Ham style. There's still. Maybe once there's once more players fit who fit Lopetegui's style come in, he's not gonna really fit in. That's gonna be Mikel Antonio's spot for a while. I'm gonna have to go. Here's the thing: if Fulham have their shooting boots on, they can go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But their front three is literally like no end product FC, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Fulham.
Oh my! Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think Iwobi's gonna do his little celebration, which is tough as well. I'm not gonna lie, his celebration is valid, but um, yeah, 3-1.
I mean, I'll go 1-1. I just think these teams are pretty even in the grand scheme of things on how, like, with Fulham having home field advantage there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going 2-1. Sorry, I'm watching football, so I'm like distracted. I'm going 2-1, and I'm gonna give Fulham the nod just because they're at Craven Cottage. So I think it's gonna be a good match, though. It's the one I'm most excited for on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 2-2. Volkrug reminds me of Andy Carroll. Not gonna lie, I hated that man. No, yeah, 2-2.
Honestly, it's hilarious because he's German, but he just has like the biggest like American hillbilly build. He's like, I'm pretty sure he's like missing the tooth, and he's just like,
Yep.
like he just looks like he'd be at a West Virginia football game this
Literally.
weekend. But he's going to be in Craven Cottage.
Right.
Liverpool is hosting Nottingham Forest. I mean,
Oh my goodness, 5-0.
Yeah,
5-0 to
I'll
Liverpool,
go 4-0. Liverpool look like a machine again this year.
Yeah.
Is there any case anyone can make for Nottingham Forest here? Like outside
I
of
just love them. I don't know why. I think it's because I've seen them play before, and they just are they're my friend's favorite team. Poor friend, but I think I just have a soft spot for them.
Well, that's
So I'm
because
gonna say 4-1 Nottingham Forest. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Liverpool wins this. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
They have the former Tottenham
I think
manager.
they're gonna run away with it.
They have Nuno Espirito Santo, Tottenham's manager. They have a
Leave them
Tottenham
out of
manager
this.
on the touchline. I know who I'm rooting for.
No.
See, I have the opposite opinion of Nottingham Forest. I think their time's done. I really just don't like that team. Not gonna lie, they're the same as Chelsea. They keep blowing up their roster like it's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at the roster between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest is going down an extra page. Like they have a shit ton of players, but I mean, I think Liverpool is gonna win like 4-0. I mean,
I think Nottingham is just like the epitome of chaos, like what is happening there. And so I think that's like there's something about it that like just intrigues me. It's not like I want to be a Nottingham fan, but I think it's just like I want to be on the inside for a day.
Sure.
24 hours in that front office. 24 hours in Chelsea's as well, just because what are you doing?
Well, that's what Nottingham is.
But for different reasons. Yeah, it's like a Chelsea wannabe almost.
Yes,
like they're doing too much.
Chelsea wasn't too big to fail.
Yeah.
Like you just see them every year. They're like, how many goalkeepers did you bring in, and none of them are good?
The fact that Killer Navas is on their books. I mean, not now, but the fact that he's a Nottingham Forest player, bro.
He's probably the best one they've had.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought maybe I think they had Dean Henderson, right, at one point?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
So Dean Henderson would have been the best because Navas was just absolutely washed by that point.
Yeah.
But Manchester City, Brentford, same thing here. Does anyone see a path for Brentford for victory outside of Ivan Toney giving the Manchester City team like his code for Bet365 and then throwing the game?
well, he's off to Saudi.
Well, that doesn't matter. He's, maybe he's still watching his former team Brentford play. You know how much he loved Brentford by the fact that he was literally dying to leave every single moment he was at Brentford. City 6-0. I honestly think Brentford are going to get battered.
I won't say battered, but I feel like a good, I'm going to say 5-0. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get battered.
I forgot Holland scored a hat-trick last week, or the other week. So
I might triple captain Holland in fantasy pro.
Yeah.
Liv, what are you thinking here? Because we always go the team of the person last.
What?
I appreciate your attentiveness. Manchester City.
Sorry. I'm trying to buy something off some girl, and now my comment is getting deleted for spam. I'm not spamming anyone. Who are we talking about?
The best team in the world.
Yeah.
Oh my
The-
god, this one, Brentford 5-0. Sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's hating.
I think it's gonna be the opposite. I think City's gonna run away, and it's gonna be like 5-0 City. And I think I'm gonna boost Holland on my FPL this weekend because I want some points.
Fair.
So how's this discussion going Monday when it's a 1-1 draw? TJ and we all
Stop.
jinxed your team. Are you mad at us? Like, are you mad at yourself? Like, what's the rationale here?
The thing is, when everyone predicts 5-0, 6-0, right? And especially with the Ipswich game, when I saw that they scored that stupid goal, bro, that dribbler that just literally
Yeah.
just rolled in slow motion. I had flashbacks of last year when we lost to Brentford. I think it was 2-1 or 2-0, and we gave up a stupid penalty. And I think Mbemo dunked on us as well. You know, mini LeBron James. Yeah, I'll be sad. I'll be dumb bad. I'll probably have my sunglasses on. I'll be dressed in all black. I'll start the live stream and I'll just be sitting here, literally just sitting here. No, I'm gonna go with the 3-1 victory.
Okay.
Yeah, and also RIP to Holland's friend, Ivar. He did just pass away. So I mean, I know we don't know him personally, but like, yeah, RIP to him as well. Yeah.
Okay. We have Aston Villa and Everton at Villa Park.
Decent match. I think. Here's the thing. Bro, this is the match to bet Onana goal, bro. That man's been scoring goals left, right, and center. He's gonna score on Saturday.
He might need to score for Everton just so they finally score this year. You know, like,
And don't roll in another one just in case.
Yeah.
He's gonna forget that he's playing for the actual better than the team's actually in the Champions League.
Well, I mean,
no.
Sonny did the own goal thing last year in the Manchester City game. I mean, why can't Onana do it here?
That's true. That's a good point. I mean, it did rattle a few people. You know, one little sector of a fan base. All jokes aside, I think I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory for Villa.
I'll go 3-0.
Is anyone? Yeah, I agree with Matthew.
Yeah.
Sorry, is anyone watching the football game, or am I the only one?
I'm seeing like bits and pieces of it.
Did Tua just get pulled, or did he get injured?
Tua might be concussion again.
Okay, yeah, I didn't. I just saw him walking off. I didn't know if he get pulled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, it looks like Tua's hands did the same thing they did in Thursday night game when he got concussed versus Cincinnati.
Are you serious? The gang signs again?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not called gang signs. It's like an actual reflex that happens when you
I
have a
know,
brain injury.
but he was like going like.
How do you call it gang sign?
He was just.
No, because that was the best way to describe it.
Someone on Twitter said that, so I guess that would make sense. Another concussion.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes just tweeted
That's
with
shame.
the prayer hands. So
That's a shame, man.
that's
one person, bro. He should literally
He should
have
stop.
a
Like, I mean,
lawsuit
it's
to the NFL because what they did to him was absolutely horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible.
he's one of the people that like he can't take that many more concussions,
Well, I mean,
especially if they're that serious.
Yeah. If they want a quarterback, Cleveland has one that they're completely willing to just give them immediately.
Matthew.
I think he needs to stay far away from Miami. Far away. He needs to. Yeah, don't even touch Florida. To be honest.
For him.
Oh man.
Okay, whatever. I guess I. All right. Aston Villa versus Everton, Andy, and then we can move on to whatever game's next.
3-0.
It was
3-0.
for Aston Villa. Everton conceding 10 goals already this season is crazy.
Yeah.
The choke job they had versus, I think that was Bournemouth right before the end of the international break, where they just gave up 3 goals in 10 minutes. I think Sean Dyche, I wouldn't be surprised if he's out by the next international window, if that keeps continuing where it was.
Bro,
And who are they going to bring in? Frank Lampard again?
I hope. I want Everton to go down.
Conceding 3 goals at home in like the last couple minutes of the game, that's just crazy.
That game was a nightmare situation for them.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let that happen.
Especially like right before the international break too. The confidence you could have had.
It's just not a good. It's not a good energy to bring, and then to expect fans to come back after a break. Like it's gonna be.
And they have to go to Villa Park. This is, I think, of any team this weekend. Even though I said I think City's going to put 6 on Brentford, I think Everton's the one I'd probably say has the least amount of chance to win this weekend.
Sure.
Bournemouth are hosting Chelsea.
Bro, I got Chelsea going crazy, bro, if I'm being honest.
You're very high on this Chelsea team, man.
Bro, I just, like, my thing is, if you spend that much money on that, like, that amount of talent, like, I just feel like...
Wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you think?
I mean,
like, they should be
the names just sound
crazy.
good. Like, do the players line up with the names? Like, you hear the name Joao Felix, and you go, like, oh, dude, remember when Atleti spent all that money on him? And you don't think, like, wow, Atleti's treated him like he's, like, a leper ever since, you know? Like, Jadon Sancho, all that money spent at United, and they were begging for him to leave, you know? So it's just the names. I mean, I don't...
Yeah.
I don't rate them as much as you do. You're very high on them.
Fair. I think it's just because, like, I'm just afraid of the fact that if they do start clicking, it's gonna be like, oh snap, you know. And I think that just comes with maturity, though, because a lot of their players are young still. But,
what about the? Did anyone see that? Was I the only one who saw the Wesley Fofana thing yesterday? Where he was like, I almost forced out a move to Lazio because of all the stuff that happened.
Oh yeah, I saw he was like serious. There was an interview that he did, and he was like, I was seriously considering a move. It was like very tempting and whatnot.
Yeah,
like he was.
Yeah,
speaking
it was
very
Marseille,
highly
not
of it.
Lazio.
Oh, I thought it was Lazio. My apologies.
No, because I just remembered he mentioned what's the dude's name? Benatia or Benetia, the former center back played for Juventus. And he's like the sporting director for Marseille now. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's they're just a very interesting club. I mean, I feel like I've never seen a team with more leaks every single day. I swear there's a new leak coming out of that club every single day. But overall, how do you think the match is going to go? You said you think Chelsea's going to roll.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 3-1. Or, 1-3, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, Chelsea wins 3-1. I'll go 1-1.
I think it'll be 2-1. I think there's more disorder to sort out in the Chelsea team before we see any great improvement, but I do think they're going to be able to handle. I think it's going to be it's not going to look like a close 2-1. I think Chelsea will handle it pretty well, but I do think Bournemouth will have a chance.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like 3-2 for Chelsea. I mean, similar aspect. I mean, defensive sucks, but their attack is really, really good. So.
All right. It is officially Tottenham Arsenal next, but I think we should save that one to last. So we'll go Wolves and Newcastle. It's at Wolves. Newcastle here?
Newcastle. Yeah, I think it's going to be... Yeah. See, I keep saying these big score lines. Let me give some respect to Wolves. I'm going to go 2-1 to Newcastle. But I can see Wolves winning this game, though, just out of some crazy shit, to be fair.
I'll go 2-0 Newcastle.
I think it'll be a 2-2 draw, to be fair. I think that'll be a really back-and-forth game, I think.
Yeah.
Wolves will have some moments of bright points and also some moments of they look very vulnerable, but another good game.
I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle. Can't really say much, really.
And then last but not least.
Yeah, last but not least, so TJ will go first here.
Like, I'm praying. Literally, I have my Bible right here. I'm praying for a Tottenham Hotspur win. Like, you don't understand how bad I need it to happen. Like, I need it to happen.
I think we do know how bad you need it to happen.
I understand it, actually. It's quite clear.
I think there.
So why do you not have a Spurs jersey in the background? I'm just so confused.
I took it off.
You took it off. You actually have one.
I did have it for a while, though. I had to celebrate Son, bro. Son was literally the MVP of last season. I'm going to have to go, realistically, 2-2.
So I'll go first of us. Like I said, I think how this game starts is definitely very important, because if one of the teams scores early, I think it just completely throws the tactic more one way or the other more than a regular game will, just based off of the instability in both midfields potentially. Because of that instability, I just think, and because it's going to be at Tottenham, I can just see this being a very sloppy game from Arsenal. Just like like the games where they do make mistakes, there is kind of
Just make it.
So I have to make my prediction real quick, and then I have to go.
Got
So
it.
I'll go Tottenham 1, Arsenal 1. I think it'll be a draw.
Okay.
All right, but I have to go, guys. So
Sounds good.
all right,
See you,
sounds
man.
good.
All right, Matt.
Bye. Bye. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
I'll go and then I'll let you finish. I think it's like Matthew said, it's going to be important to see how the game starts. I think what's going to be the deciding factor is not going to be how the game starts. I think it's going to be the 60th minute and how we see subs introduced into the game. I think that's going to be the turning point, especially with how the game's flowing. If it's looking like Arsenal's very solid defensively, I think an attacking introduction in the 60th minute with fresh legs will be key. I think that's going to kind of be the deciding factor. I think the game's going to be decided towards the end. I'm going to say it's going to be 2-1, but that's probably being greedy. I think a draw is more than likely, but it feels wrong to say that we would not win.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to be greedy and say that we'll win, but I think a 1-1 draw is very likely.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, again, as everyone said, I feel like it won't get sloppy until like the second half. I feel like by the half we'll be like 1-1, and once that second half starts, it's gonna be extremely sloppy. In terms of like losing the ball in midfield, like dangerous tackles. But I feel like Arsenal's gonna win 2-1, just because if we win off set pieces and we go off set pieces, we get a lot of those. I feel like we'll be fine. I think Saka's definitely gonna score.
All right. Yeah, that wraps it up. Great episode. Big match coming up this Sunday. And obviously, after everything's wrapped up, for this weekend, we're gonna try to do a live stream on Sunday, or not Sunday, Monday. Just doing a recap of the weekend. So yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in. And look out for the next episode. Peace.